Good afternoon, Dr. Arpan. I think you are muted. Good afternoon, Naveen.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So our speaker of the session has joined. So we are having a session on challenges and opportunities for business. Here with us we have Dr. Arpan Bhambri. So Simran, could you please introduce ma'am?
Good afternoon to everyone present here today. I, Simran Sharma, would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone in this 2 days online workshop on developing leadership skills among budding entrepreneurs 2022 organized by BIT Off Campus Lalpur. Today in this event, we have invited our guest speaker who graciously accepted our invitation despite having hectic schedule, Dr. Arpan Bhambri ma'am. Ma'am will be talking on the topic Challenges and Opportunities for Indian Startups. A special welcome to all the esteemed faculty members, other guests, and my dear friends. Dr. Arpan ma'am is the owner of Capital Trading Company and Hotel Rivoli. She is the chairperson of two B.Ed colleges at Rohtak. Her specialty is giving guest lectures at universities like IIM, Amity, and MDU. Her determination to continue her education has pushed her forward in life to this day. She is a women entrepreneur with education and experience in the fields of academics, corporate, and non-profit organizations. I'm immensely convinced that her expertise, which she'll share with us, will add value to our knowledge base and will assist us in every aspect. Over to you, ma'am, to take up the session further.
Thank you so much, dear Simran. A good noon to our Honorable Professor Indraneel Mananji, our Chairperson, Professor Vandana Bhattacharya ji, our Joint Convener, Ms. Anupama Sahai ji, and Dr. Mili Datta ji, and my dear budding enterprises. Little entrepreneurs will all of you be. I'm 100% sure because you're at the right track. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I would first like to share a little PPT on what little things we, that means me, my family, our HR personnel, all of us together have been able to acquire with the support of our teachers and the blessings of God. Our roller coaster journey, entrepreneurship, the act of creating a business or businesses while building and scaling it to generate profits is what I call entrepreneurship. It's a very simple thing. Just find out a problem and solve it. Once you've done it, you're on the right track. Vision. We basically have a multidisciplinary business. Since I have never believed in getting into a single startup, I'll be narrating an incident later to you, why and how I felt this. So this is Capital Trading Company. This is basically a company whose vision is to protect and sustain the environment from development and production in terms of eco-friendly plastic. Hotel Rivoli, the vision is to improve the quality of life of communities we serve through value creation based on leadership with trust. So these are two B.Ed colleges which I'm catering to to transfer by providing quality education with human values, with love, sincerity, empathy, cooperation, and constitutional values. To continue and help women teachers by providing quality education so as to enlighten and empower the next generation. These are little pics and snaps that I could collect so as to show it to you. This is basically collection of scrap that we do from scrap dealers whom you call kabadiwalas, and the government has basically fixed certain percentage, that is today it is 20%, where we reuse and recycle the plastic to come out with small kind of plastic granules. This is our hotel. We've gone to so many places till date, each one I guess. But what I basically wanted to ensure is we didn't have much of opportunity here. Because opportunity here in the sense, there were so many small little chop up hotels out here. But one service, one quality, one stop shop was not available. Dignitaries coming into Haryana, as it is near Delhi, it's near Chandigarh, it's near Gurgaon. Still, we don't have good hotels out here. Then we thought of a plan of how to go about it, which I'll discuss with you in the next slides. So these are little small dignitaries. I think the MS Dhoni from Ranchi. You can talk of Sachin Tendulkar. You can see Gulshan Grover ji. You can see
Sorry to interrupt. I think there is we are not able to see the slide.
Ma'am, your slide is not visible to us. Ma'am, your slide is not visible.
Please share. Put it in the sharing. Are you facing some problem, Arpan?
I think, ma'am, I'll be able to do it. Just give me a minute, I think.
Sure. Yes.
Ma'am, is it now visible?
No, it's not visible.
I don't know what. Ma'am, I think I'm facing some problem. It's not able to, browser is not able to share the screen. For what reason I'm not.
Okay.
Do you mind continuing I'll continue the presentation, and in case B, I'll show you the PPT in between.
Yes, please.
A general date, 19th of February 2017. 4 o'clock in the evening, the sky was entirely clean. We got a call from one of our acquaintances who was in the government shell, calling us, our house worth 4 acres land has got burnt immediately. The mob is over outside your hotel. And they're talking about your residence. These were the terms which came to my ears. We immediately came down from the hotel to our residence. We, in terms, our staff members, me, my family. The sky started turning black. There was all smoke all around. Can you people just imagine a mob of 10 increasing to 20, slowly increasing with the passage of time and coming down to a mob of 180 people with arms and ammunitions in their hands outside our hotel? Within a fraction of a second, the hotel was being shaken up. How come? We came to know that our hotel was being put on fire. We got feelers a few hours before that all the government personnel were out from the city. All fire brigades had holes in their pipes. There was no rescue. An entire city where people lived in today's scenario. Can you beat it, children? Immediately, we took a decision. When the mob is there, first and the foremost, we each and every person from the hotel, the staff members, their certificates, everything should be out. Everything was in sacks. And they were out. And in a fraction of a second, all these mobs were into our hotel, burnt it into ashes. So this was a Jat Arakshan or a Jat reservation, which we felt and which we have seen in history books. There is no, I don't complain of anything, neither do I put a finger on anybody. But I wanted to know, why us? We were the first ones. Why? Just because we worked hard. We were in the limelight. There were dignitaries, there were personnel, there were VVIPs coming at the hotel. Students, if you can see this little thing, I had started up my school. This is a pamphlet by the name of Tiny Hands. So I have been from the education line since my parents, in fact, my grandparents have been in the education line from Ranchi. They've been running a school. And after my marriage, from the 11th day, I joined my PhD because I decided I want to be productive. And education line is the best for females. It makes you feel proud. It's an esteemed, revered profession. This pamphlet, this entire board was on top of my house. We were within a fraction of a second, we had to decide we had to be out of our house, otherwise our lives would have gone. Because in the hotel, huge vessels of dals and everything was burnt. TVs, all kinds of LEDs, huge beds, everything was taken away. Just imagine, the mob was increasing and there was a gush. After they were reaching home, so outside our house, there was a number plate with the nameplate. And there was people, few of our neighbors helped us out, who put cow dung on top of our nameplates. My signboard, which was on top of my residence, it was all fallen down. we had to just rush off and stay undergrounded. Why we had to rush off? Because they would have attacked us. A mob would have attacked us. And this is actually a true story. There was some issue going on that few of our family members were not in a position to walk. So they were supposed to be lifted by 2 to 3 people and then taken over to the other place. So we didn't have time of a fraction of a second also. We just had to gush off. Where? Few of the people whom we maintained good human relations, they helped us out. 7 days, we had half spoon of dal the entire day. It was not me, it was our children, it was the whole family. We used to move out of the house and there was entire black smoke. I've heard sounds of bombs, bullets. At night, 3 o'clock, hiding away, we used to go and check our little baby, our hotel. Because rest of the things that we catered to, that is our factory, it was shut down. It was at the outskirts, so the mob couldn't reach there. We, shoulder to shoulder, hugged each other because we didn't know, might be next moment we are not alive. We had said a bid adieu to our family members. My experience has been a startup experience. What happened, how it happened, what we read in history books is what I have faced. Until date, I still teach each and every person. It's not essential that all people are seen in a negative way. Your approach towards life should be very positive. You should be clean-hearted. That's how you can carry on. I hope I'm being able to communicate. Nalini ji, Pooja Kumari ji, Simran Sharma, are you able to connect with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So my main intention, I'll be taking this entire presentation to a different angle as to it's not something big that you can start off or you think for tomorrow I need to start off. Everything starts from today, from now. From now, in the sense, you should never put all your eggs in one basket. What does that mean? Don't invest. If you ask me, I have felt it, I have faced it, and I would always suggest we should never put our entire finances towards one business. If you have 10 rupees, spend 2. From those 2, think how next, what kind of profits can you earn? Let the 8 remain there itself, and then think of the next 1 rupee that you can invest elsewhere. Then think where you can invest the rest 50 paise. Have finances in your hand, whatever amount may be. It is very difficult to overcome such kind of situations where during startups we faced so many issues. Issues as in, I'll come down to you. We have this plastic factory that we cater to, and it basically helps the government, as in our environment is completely turned to an eco-friendly environment. So here it's basically because of grinding. We first collect the scrap from these scrap dealers, then we wash it, then we transform it into thin pipes, and then we cut it. Small little granules out of which buckets are made. You might have seen these Asian Paints have been using buckets. The screw factories, they pack their stuff in these plastics. So this is how the procedure is basically followed. That is how it goes on. We faced huge challenges in this, as in we couldn't find skilled labor because Delhi was nearby. Most of the people wanted to go there since they were highly paid. But because of these industrial units out here, we try to find out the best. We have always faced, and we've pondered on one thing, is HR. Whatever kind of opportunities and challenges you face whenever in life, you might have read in your management theories and your books, HR is the most productive and the most active resources of production. I 100% believe in human resource and human relations. If you are solid in that, if you're 100% foolproof in that, you'll be able to cater to all kinds of planning, organizing, directing, controlling, staffing, marketing, HR, finances, everything will follow pace. Because of this plastic...
Now we are able to see the screen. Now we are able to see the slide.
So this is our hotel. This is our hotel thing. The full snaps. I hope it's visible.
Yes. Yes, it's good.
Then, so we have... Next we have Raj College of Education and Lord Shiva College of Education. So my concept was I to we. I never believe I did it. I have done nothing. It is always as a team that we have done. Has to be a balance between physical and mental state. So I basically believe in venturing into multidisciplinary businesses. There has to be the right choice, and you need to be positive to attain whatever you need to. About our company, situated in HSIDC, that is Hubda Industrial City, Haryana. The area is 18,000 square feet, manpower 120 people. So we had huge challenges in acquiring these skilled laborers, procurement of scrap, setting pollution control board. Our one factory in Delhi was closed down because the pollution control board came down, and that was 0.1% where our parameters were not meeting. We had to shift that factory entirely to Rohtak within a time span of 3 days. So we faced innumerable challenges. About our hotel, situated in the heart of the city, at Rohtak, it's around 50,000 square feet with a 50-room property and 3 banquets. So we've divided this entire land into 2. One part is our hotel and the other part is left vacant. We made it as a parking area to see what we need to do next. We always believe not investing or venturing into 100% stuff. Now see, from one businesses, we could cater to the other businesses. So after I got married, from the 11th day when I joined my PhD, I went to the university, went for lecturership at IIM. We had the director of IIM told us he wanted to have some good, he wanted to have delicacies out here. After inviting him, and once he had it, he was so positive, and he told us, I want to give you the entire mess and the canteen facility at my place. So we have around 21 industries where we cater to, and we have different kind of personnel, our HR staff, and the entire canteen, which is set up there only. So we have FDDI, we have ICN, which is a Japanese company. The challenges that we faced were, when we got this hotel up, was that the cost that we kept was very less. We always believed in one thing, just one thing: quality and quality. No compromise on quality at any cost. And the HR has to be taken care of at the utmost. If the HR in terms of human resource and human relations are taken care of, you've nailed it. Our hotel during the JAT reservation time, I think we could go about it just because our staff was with us truly 100%. Till date, the staff that we had since day one, they don't wish to leave our job, our hotel. Not even once. Anytime we are there, anytime they are there, we are there. It's vice versa. Small little birthdays that we celebrate for them. We, as little owners of the company, we go to them personal birthdays just to wish them for a single minute the kind of happiness that they get. During the COVID times, we gave them vehicles to leave each and every person to their village. It was actually and indeed a very big challenge for us. Hotel is a non-living thing. It can be reconstructed. Just because we had ventured into so many aspects, so many kinds of businesses, so many kinds of ventures. But what about the HR? Once gone is gone forever. Once that trust breaks, it's gone forever. Next, I come on to my B.Ed college, which is Raj College of Education and Lord Shiva College of Education. So it is basically situated at the Chandigarh highway, and it is in 3 acres of land. 3 acres of land, acquiring 3 acres of land all together. Because we earlier got 1 acre, then we got the other 2 at different vicinities. Altogether, the government was a very big help just because we were in the education line and the government wanted that the rural mass should be educated. Getting on to them and telling them why they need to be educated and convincing them, each and every person, was difficult. But we will not be coming to the college. We want to be non-attending. You get us the degree. I was zapped. I said, education line in such a kind of a place? I've never heard something of that kind. We gave them a time of 10 days. We said, let's carry on the way you want to, and then we'll see. Post 10 days, when they came and we asked them questions, they didn't know. I said, is this the education that you want India's children in future to be? And this is what you see your country to be? They were ashamed. Those 2 persons, those 2 female teachers whom we had to convince, and those students, they in fact spread a word of mouth, and the entire village near where our B.Ed college was, it was shaken. In a boom, we had 200 children the next day coming on for admissions and actually wanting to study. Hiring this inspection by NCTE was also difficult. Since we were not, inspection is something which has to be done at a very professional level. And it was the first time, whenever you venture and come down into a startup, it's not easy. Experience is never born and brought up. Once you face it, you will be able to do it. The main thing is you need to be positive. Karna hai to karna hai. You have to do it. And you will be able to do it. You're in the best of places. Locally hired teachers was a very difficult task. I have shown the characteristics of an entrepreneur here, and I've made a questionnaire. So once need be, you can go through, and then I've sent the answers as well. You can rate yourself as to.
Will it be possible to, because the font size, it's not readable, so can we put it in the full size?
Yeah.
So that full screen or something?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Is it visible?
It's visible, but little difficult to read it out.
Ma'am, I shall WhatsApp this to you. You can share it with our little entrepreneurs.
Okay,
They'll be
sure.
able to see and then rate themselves however they wish to. My conclusion is live for now, live for today, give it your 100%, things will surely work for you. My main intention of sharing my episode of the Jat reservation was we were very lucky in terms of the human resource. Not even a single person was burnt, not even a single person was injured. With folded hands, they come to us and they say, kindly, if you have more vacancies, take our family members also. What better and what more do we want? For you budding enterprises, it is not a foresighted thing. How will entrepreneurship be seen? You have to live for today and you have to change yourself now. Now is the time. Don't sit idle. Small little nitty-gritties is how and what tips I'll be giving you. If you try and understand, you'll be able to go through very, very easily. Like I told you, never test the depth of water. What do you mean by this? Don't invest in one business or in one enterprise. We never knew this will be the case with a person who's actually been working hard and who's a firm believer in destiny. We left it for destiny. Let's see. Because of entrepreneurship, our life was at stake. I have learned a very major thing through this episode. We should keep our friends close to us, but we should keep our enemies closer to us. Your competitors, your colleagues will be there in the rat race, but you're giving 100%. You're being in a positive, channelized manner. Your ongoing learning should always take place. I'll cite a very small example. I was in Ranchi and there was a child, there was an entire class who was given this assignment of, coloring. Everybody has done coloring once we were in pre-nursery, nursery classes. So we were supposed to color an object. So we gave that sheet of paper to the children and there was a mango made. Just an outline of a mango. And the children were given a set of color boxes. The child was told to just fill in the color. And there was no teacher to guide them. They had to pick and choose their own color. So somebody picked up yellow. Somebody made a combination of yellow and red. Somebody made a combination. Somebody put, I remember, green. And somebody colored it with brown. I asked that child, I said, why did you color the mango brown? This is strange. Lovely answer he gave me. This mango is sada. I learned it from him. He's not wrong. This is how he has been perceived. He has been perceiving that mango in that way. I have seen children. I'm narrating very casual and normal incidents to you so that you will be able to understand what I mean. Little children, little teenagers today are more tech savvy. They are more into games. Their brains are masterminds. Trust me, their brains are masterminds once put in the right direction. I saw my son watching a watching a movie basically. And post 2 to 3 days, I asked him. I was very perplexed about some issue going on. And I told him there's too much load on my head. सीखने की कोई उम्र नहीं होती. I was like a child of 6 years old telling me this. I said, where did you hear this from? He tells me, APJ Abdul Kalam ji ne sahi kaha hai. I said, where did you get this? He said, I watched that movie. So from that movie, that child could extract what he wanted to. Each and every person around you teaches you and makes you learn. For you to learn, you need to have a very cordial relation with the other person. You need to stoop down to learn. Feb was the day when I was told by a child, Aaj to MS Dhoni must be very disturbed. I said, why? I said, have you met him? Yes. I said, how do you remember the date? What is so special in that date? He told me he's watched that movie MS Dhoni, and from that movie he's extracted on the 14th of Feb. There was an accident which took place with MS Dhoni, and there was his friend involved, and she died on the spot. So uske ghar pe there must be a havan today. Just imagine the correlation. Students, there are many activities around you taking place. Just sit calm, stay cool, and try to grab maximum from each person and respect the HR and his value. I'm telling you the challenges that we faced for the college, for our hotel, for the B.Ed colleges, for my lecturership, for my studies. I have not stopped my studies till 3 years old. Till date I am studying. I do face many issues, but everything is here. The issues that we faced for each kind of venture was all cleared slowly and steadily, just because we had good HR and human relations. I'm again and again emphasizing on this. Once you think that you are hardworking, and once you know, just give it your best. Just give it your best. Rest, leave it on destiny and leave it on God. Fortune will always favor the bold. Why? Because the more risk taken, the more profits, the more learning. The more losses, the more mistakes you make, the more you will be able to learn. To iron your wrinkled shirt is not easy. Once you make mistakes, never mind, learn from them. The biggest mistake that we make as an individual is we don't learn from our mistake. We commit it, but we don't learn. One major area that I came through because of the blessings of every person, I feel might be elders, God, each and every person, is charity. Charity begins at home. You need to start today itself. Trust me, little nitty-gritties do matter. Little nitty-gritties do matter. Outside your BIT, you have Uday Mishtan Bhandar. Am I right? Harsh Raj ji, Pooja ji, Simran ji, Archita ji.
Yes, it is there.
Yes, ma'am.
And we do have, I think, Rajasthan Shoppy also.
Yes.
So we have little stray dogs and little animals out there who are actually starving for something which can be just given by you. See, these are traits of an entrepreneur. Actually, this is a challenge. This is such a small little thing that you people can do sitting there at your places. Just a little thing. Keep certain things in your pocket. Do charity. Try and become a proper and a good human being. Let the other person be respected and feel respected with you. Your actions will speak louder than your words. The concept of I to we. I have never faced, I have been standing alone. How will I cater to it? First time I use this word and the last time I use this word I for my business, for my entrepreneurs, for my entrepreneurship, for my lecturership was when I went to take admission in PhD. Plus, when I had gone for the licenses for the hotel, since it's a man's world, people used to look at females in a very different angle. In universities, there was a very, very shrewd kind of a language used, which I could not take coming down from a respectable institute. And I was told to take admission, you only have to go yourself. Nobody else will assist you. With rolling tears down my eyes, I came out. I said, I cannot stand this kind of language and these kind of eyes. I promised myself, I will stand on my own feet and silence will give an answer to these people. And that is what proved against the mindset of these people. Today, when we go to that university, the very same people who had shunned down a mockery at us, who had used those terms, stand up with reverence, with respect, and bow down. Getting down, like finance has been a very big aspect in terms of challenge that we faced for all our businesses. The first business got a link to the second one. The second business, like for example, we first ventured into the hotel. From the hotel, we ventured into, since I was catering and I was dealing with IIM, so we got the IIM dealership in terms of catering and mess. From there, the word of mouth spread, and we got huge tenders of messes of various industries. Hotel line has not been easy. A single flaw going into your stomach and you're gone. You think about a startup, about a hotel, just outside the hotel, like we had so much food that was wasted because you generally get an estimation of the entire day, but still food generally is fact that generally gets wasted after the entire staff, everybody eating. So we planned giving that to Robin Hood so that they can share it with the people who need it. We didn't get a good response. After we paying them to take our food, after so many calls, nobody came down. Just they came down once and the entire show was done. We made another plan. I said, let's do one thing. Let's start up another thing, a new concept of might be, a huge refrigerator outside the hotel, wherein whatever food or packaged food that is made the very same day can be written in English and Hindi and can be stored there. So whosoever wants it, whosoever needs food can come down and pick it up. We hired a security guard plus a personnel, a staff member who was there outside the hotel catering to the expiry. Whenever the next day, the food was entirely rotten, we used to remove it. This came out to be a boom in the city. Looking at this, Gurgaon, there's a society in Gurgaon, they as well have started this concept. Children, once you're in the right direction in life, once you start talking to yourself. What kind of traits do you have? You have Bitotsav, you generally have this entire big show of Bitotsav. Try and participate in each and every activity. It's going to give you a big boom. This you will realize later. What BIT takes out of you. Is mind-blowing. I am again speaking of the angle where I'm taking the presentation, just because if you have a solid HR, we cater to not less than 1,500 people, 1,500 stomachs. We cater to so many of hundreds of personnel in the B.Ed college. So many students, teachers who came down in our college were facing issues, as in they had some kind of family problems might be, and they were not ready to come down. Teachers were not ready to come down. We asked them, what is the reason? They gave us one answer. Ma'am, there's nobody to cook food at home, so it's better I won't be able to join. Will you be able to beat it? We made an entire package meal for each and every teacher for each and every student in the college who was just coming for 2 to 2.5 hours. That made a very big difference to them, which was just nothing. I have been learning so much from each and every person, is that I'm so indebted having a word with each and every person in front of me today. Your positive thoughts, see the negatives, see the constraints that you have, and then see the positive things as well. And be positive to attain your goal. Slow and steady. Today, if you change yourself at home, from the place where you're sitting, remove the clutter from your head. Think positive. Don't sit idle. That entrepreneurial skills in you. I mean, you will be able to overcome the challenges that you generally face. As I told you, being positive, being at the right path, staying focused. I've seen my grandmother as a role model for me, just because she had this 10 paise where she started the school from. She made balls out of newspapers, crushed newspapers, wrapped them up with sellotapes. Half a page of copies were torn, and she used to sew them to make copies. That is how the foundation of the school started. That is called hard work with brains. With loads of aspirations, your parents have sent you to an institute. With loads of aspirations, you people have been trying to go on a journey where you don't know where you'll be. Change today. Change it now. Once you change that concept of now, you've nailed it. You've nailed it. The challenges that we faced was very much supported by the government, just because of our HR and again our relations with them. We could build up an entire huge hotel again. We could make another industry crop up, another plastic factory crop up. This was all after what we had undergone, and it was all with the government assisting aid. Downfalls is more that we faced. But we as personals, we learned from it. And with sheer respect and happiness. Day in and day out, procuring, thinking towards your goals. finding out what needs to be as a startup. It's not essential you need to get into a business. What I mean is, I personally feel, why don't we have a new startup wherein a news channel for kids starts? Might be a day later when the news is out. Where only those kinds of, we have movies, we have so many acts and plays which are under 13, which are over 8 years. Why don't we have news channels for kids? There is another niche market wherein these vehicles, these multi-utility vehicle users are planning to fix in movable toilets inside their vehicles. Look at the startup idea. How did this idea crop up? Because there was a problem and the problem needed to be solved. But how? Cleanliness, hygiene has been a major issue while people, especially senior citizens and kids, been traveling. Thanks to our government for procuring, for entirely moving on this Clean India, Green India drive. What I mean to say is, think of an idea, whatever you feel there is a problem that you're pertaining to. Come down to revert, come down to options of solving it. See the pros and cons of each and every action that you take, of each and every thought that you undergo. Think positive, but just see the constraints. Then see an opportunity as to when you need to nail it. There's a very well-known saying, you can take the horse near the water, but you cannot make him drink. Drinking and experiencing those mistakes is what you can do all by yourself. Facing these kind of problems, facing these kind of mistakes is what will make you stand. Till date, I could not open my school. I first gave it a thought of opening up or setting up our own hotel business first. I had many admissions when my school was opening, wherein I had to return back the entire fees that was given to me. It was not an easy show to let your baby go. But then I spoke to myself. I said I need to focus on the donuts rather than the whole. I need to focus on what I have today rather than what I don't have. That was an opportunity that I saw. And I pushed myself towards the lecturership. Once I got into this lecturership field, the education field, sharing in revenues, I felt each and every person coming to me Where do we admit our children now? What do we do? We had hired teachers from Kenya. We had hired teachers from abroad, from Andhra Pradesh, from different states of India as well. Given them accommodation, everything went in vain in once and for all. More than the positive aspect, we faced more of negative aspects in life. But all was possible just because we did not venture into one field. That is, we felt quality is of utmost importance, first, and second, HR, third, human relations. These three will place you wherever you wish to today as well. Today, any little thing, any little thought inside your mind, you have somebody or the other at the back. It is all because of the relations that you create. Our life during that reservation was entirely saved because of that episode. Every cloud has a silver lining. Every person has lacunas. Learning from those lacunas is what will make you a shining star. All of you are budding stars. Each and every person has that kind of a spark in them. Each one of you. It's just a matter when the lights will be on and you'll be shining. That's it. And that is destined. That is 100% destined for you. But it is destined for the people who work hard. It's a very well-known saying, God helps those who help themselves. The sayings are very, very true. Am I able to communicate? Am I able to share what I need to? Narendra ji, Ayush Kumar ji.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Few little tips that I think I've given you, and you're on a daily basis changing them, changing your actions, changing your thoughts, changing your activities, can take you in the positive direction. That is where and why you need to be. Today, I just mentioned a very little thing, but a very major thing, as in you must keep your friends with you and your enemies closer. By this, I mean might be your competitors as well. Today, there is no if today, there are people who've opened up bigger shows than us. Come down to us, take our 100% assistance, and we have never shown them a negative approach. Never ever. We've in fact given them the addresses, the phone numbers, each and every detail that they wanted to, any kind of help that they wish to. Their destiny is theirs. We need to work hard in a positive way, and that is what we will do. Rest assured, we need to change our strategies, nothing beyond. They won't learn from us, they learn from somewhere else. Whatever is destined for them, they will. After completion of my MBA, I was picked up by Reliance Infocom for marketing. All my friends were selected for some field or the other. I was told by Infocom, this is an HR related job. But when I read the profile, I couldn't find anything of that kind. I was still coaxed to go there. 2 days I worked with Reliance Infocom, and I was told, we'll give it to you next day. We'll be giving you this HR post the very next day. I waited for 2 days, nothing came down. I told them, sir, I'm not here for this job. I'm not here for marketing any longer. I'm an HR specialized personnel. I need to take a back seat. I'm leaving. He was forced to give me a 2-month salary for those 2 days, just because I was focused.
Ma'am, can we open for interactive session now?
Yes, we may have the interactive session. I think that people will learn more from that.
Arpan, madam, can we start with the interactive session?
Yes, sure, dear.
The
Sure,
students
Vidya.
are looking forward to it. So, few of the students who want to ask question, I think Soumitra, you raised your hand a few moments before.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so please ask your question, and then
Ma'am,
Arunama.
like you mentioned about helping and feeding strays who are starving in the streets. Ma'am, me and my team has started to feed daily approx 30 to 40 dogs in a locality called Harmu and treat them with the help of veterinary doctors available. Later we faced a difficulty in gathering funds for day-to-day feeding activities and treatment of these animals, which has currently put a stop on our activity, but not in our vision and motivation to do something good for stray animals. Ma'am, how to manage initial finance part related to startup or any cause, how to raise fund and encourage people to support our cause? And that's my question.
A very good question, Soumitra ji.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm delighted you people are on the right path. And I'm blessed to hear this. Loads of blessings for this act that you have undergone. You'll go wonders. In terms of your finances, what you're talking about, each and every person to a particular extent can contribute to a certain level. That is the first step. Second, if you wish to, since you've catered this kind of a need that I have I know one of my acquaintances in Bhopal who has taken this to a national level. I can help you out wherein they can help you with the funds. We do have NGOs that are open. You can register as well. You can contribute. If you wish to, I can channelize and guide you to that level. In terms, they basically have funds, but they don't have personnels. Right? 1 and 1 is 11, Soumitra.
Yes,
One
ma'am.
from Bhopal and one team from you at Ranchi can prove 11. You can cater to a mass.
Yes, ma'am.
I can help you channelize, go into this field. Plus, you can get in touch with many NGOs. You have a very good personnel in Ranchi itself by the name of Mrs. Rashi Anand. She has been catering to this angle only. She requires personnel. She has funds for this, but she carries on these kinds of drives at a national level.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, Arunama, you wanted to ask question?
Yes,
Please go
ma'am.
ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Ma'am, what strategies one should adopt to deal with the issues of political nature?
You basically, it's a very tricky kind of a question to be catered to. But as I mentioned, just one thing, each and every person should be treated with respect, should be standing with you. In terms of the political aspect as well, the government, as I mentioned, that if you're at the right path, the government is with you. That is what I have faced.
Okay, ma'am.
Building HR relations is a very small nitty-gritty. For example, I'll just cite a very small example, which I didn't mention. Isha Kopikar ji, each and every person must be knowing, a very well-known film actress, came down to our hotel and she stayed here for 14 days. And in those 14 days, we were supposed to cater to her, dieting needs. As in, she was on a particular diet, and those products, those paraphernalias were not available at Rohtak. We got them available from different places. After it was on the 14th, 13th day, she got bugged up. She said, I want to eat something. She gave me a call. Ma'am, kindly give me authentic food that is specialized at your hotel. Within 10 minutes, that food was delivered to where her shooting was going on. She messaged me. I was so tired, but my entire day was a boom after having the food. It was scrumptious. What better feedback could I have got? Now, coming on to HR relations that we're talking about, when after her reaching the hotel, a very little thing, I gave her a call and I said, I just read that you were tired today. So if viable, do you need a person for a good, might be a good massage? And she gave me a big smile. Why not? There we nailed it. Small little nitty-gritties do make a very big change. Talking about the political aspect, relation with each and every person, your HR, first and the foremost is to build your team, your leadership qualities, your HR is of great, great importance. Your maid at home, come on to that. She should always have a smiling face. She is also a human being at heart. Why shouldn't she be happy? Why shouldn't her needs be catered to if she has come in contact with good people like you? I hope I'm able to communicate.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
There is a question from Farhan Akhtar. How can one build good human relation?
Good human relation can only be built once you are a good human being. Practice what you preach. Become a good human being first. By good, I mentioned innumerable qualities that an entrepreneur should have. Might be in this entire session, I might not be able to cover all the aspects of entrepreneurship, but I expect at least a few would have been catered to. As I just mentioned, human relations. I just cited an example of Isha Kopikar ji. For example, a person coming down at your hotel, right? And he's full of, might be, he has certain issues, or there are certain issues coming down in your own factory, and he's in complete anger, and he comes out flaring at you. This is what has happened, and this is what is wrong. Your duty as a person is not much, just to make him serve a glass of little water and tell him to calm down and sit down. Listen to his problem and tell him you are 100% correct. Put yourself in the shoes of the other person who has come down to you. For me, customer is the king, yes, but the person who is in front of you is also the king. since he's making you learn.
And the next question is from Pooja Kumari. Should we venture in different sectors to be successful?
That's again a very good question, Pooja.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sector as such doesn't matter. You can venture into any sector that you wish to. Quality is what matters. I again emphasize HR is what matters. Human relations is what matters. That is how entrepreneurship comes out to be successful, whichever sector you are in. It's not staying in just or investing in just one aspect doesn't prove me because we have faced is what I told you, and I've seen so many people after the COVID issue investing into different kind of businesses, different kind of ventures, just because of this one sole reason. If you want to invest in one, well and good, but then from inside that sector itself, you can still venture into sub outlets, sub paths. Investing in one doesn't prove a foolproof stuff, because we also didn't know as to certain things will happen with us. We didn't know how an entire backfall would come to us. I hope my question is answered.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Any other question that you have? Participants, do you have any other questions? Okay, since you don't have any other questions, so can we wrap up the session for today?
Yes, I think now we are having also the next session also at where the dean will be coming. So we have to link in with the another link. That is, so we have to switch in on. So we have to give this our participants 5 minutes to 10 minutes time. So I would like to thanks Arpan. I think the vote of thanks will be officially rendered by the student coordinator. So may I request the student coordinator to please.
So it was a wonderful live experience sharing and a true story that Dr. Arpan has shared with us. So now Simran is going to give the thanks. Word of thanks to Dr. Arpan. Yeah, Simran, please.
Upling pointed out by ma'am कि सीखने की कोई उम्र नहीं होती है. Make mistakes, पर अपनी गलतियों से we should keep learning. Be a good human being and do charity. I would like to express deep thanks on the behalf of VIT Lalpur campus to our guest speaker, Ms. Arpan Bhambri ma'am, for such an amazing and informative session and giving us an insight on this relevant topic. I also extend my gratitude to Dr. Vandana Bhattacharjee ma'am, director of our center, for providing us such a platform. My sincere thanks is directed to Anupama ma'am and Millie ma'am, who took an effort to organize this event. Special acknowledgement to all my faculty members for joining this session and making this a great success. I also thank the working committee members who contributed in this event. And I would also like to express my gratefulness to all the attendees for taking out time and supporting us for this successful workshop. We look forward to conduct more such events year after and hope Arpan ma'am will join us soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and best wishes to our budding entrepreneurs. I would love to see each one stay successful. Loads of best wishes from our side.
Participants enjoyed your practical experience sharing session, because generally being a faculty, we talk a lot about the theory, but we lack this practical aspects. So I think they have learned a lot, and definitely it will help them to pursue their entrepreneurial journey. Thanks, sir.
And thanks for sharing your true story. So that's most important.
That
Thank
was
you.
Every
interesting, and
aspect was
how
very
you come
well
out.
explained.
Yes.
So thank you, Dr. Arpan.
Thank you so much, Miri ma'am. Our pleasure.
So we can end the
Yes.
session.
Yes, ma'am.
So dear